Good afternoon. I'm Teresa Stretch, an education and training specialist with the Institute of Child Nutrition, and I would like to welcome you to the January School of Nutrition STAR webinar on competencies, knowledge, and skills for school of nutrition managers. In order to meet the unique training, technical assistant, and professional development needs of school of nutrition professionals, ICN has launched the School of Nutrition STAR Strategies, Trainings, Action Plans, and Resources initiative to help develop goals and best practices to improve program administration and operations. The School of Nutrition STAR program will offer a multitude of elements that include face-to-face workshops, virtual instructor-led trainings, and webinars. It also spotlights success stories to proactively offer standardized training, real-life strategies of program implementation, mentorship and coaching to develop action plans and goals, along with training and facilitation techniques and access to free resources and education materials to assist school of nutrition professionals with navigating through the enhanced responsibility of school of nutrition operations. The Institute of Child Nutrition has collaborated with USDA to host monthly webinars. The STAR webinar series is designed as a communication platform. It features school districts that have implemented creative strategies and best practices for common school and nutrition topics, as well as allied organizations who develop and offer free resources to support school and nutrition programs. The Institute has created a website for all materials and resources specifically related to the webinars. You will find the information on theicn.org. Our panelists today are Dr. Marjorie Larte. Dr. Marjorie Larte is a research scientist at the University of Southern Mississippi with the Institute of Child Nutrition Applied Research Division. Her career encompasses over 20 years of teaching, research, and practice in the field of nutrition and dietetics. Our second panelist is Dr. Christy Lewis. She is a research scientist for the Institute of Child Nutrition Applied Research Division, registered dietitian, educator, and consultant for Head Start, with more than 22 years of experience in food service community nutrition interventions, education, and food and nutrition research, which also includes schools, higher education, child care, Head Start programs, agriculture, rural and urban health interventions, and food production. Thank you for joining today's webinar about ICN's research-based resource competency, knowledge, and skills for school and nutrition managers. The ICN Applied Research Division's competency, knowledge, and skills for school and nutrition managers research includes baseline and advanced knowledge and skill recommended for school and nutrition managers to effectively perform at local sites. The ICN research correlates with the USDA professional standards and has been incorporated into the ICN resources specifically geared to the school of nutrition managers. This webinar will provide an overview of competencies, knowledge, and skills for school of nutrition managers. It will discuss strategies for utilizing ICN research-based resource and will provide guidance for the role of school of nutrition manager. A section of this resource has been dedicated to providing tools to apply the competencies, knowledge, and skills informed shared. This section includes the following: a job description template as a fillable form, an individual mentoring plan for school of nutrition managers form, and a competency-based performance appraisal, also as a fillable form. Each tool will have a detailed instructions on its usage and how to complete the document. You will learn more about the features of this resource during today's webinar. During today's webinar, all attendees are muted. There will be time for questions following the speaker's presentation. If you have a question, please type it into the question box on your screen. The PowerPoint slides are available and can be downloaded directly from your webinar panel. We will try to get to as many questions as possible, but due to our time constraints, every question may not get answered during the webinar. At the end of the presentation, you will be asked to complete an evaluation, and after completion of the evaluation, you will receive a certificate. On March 2nd, 2015, USDA Food and Nutrition Services published the Professional Standards for School and Nutrition Professionals. The rule requires a minimum amount of annual training for all state directors of school and nutrition programs, state directors of distributing agencies, and school and nutrition program directors, managers, and staff. Required training topic areas will vary according to the position and job requirements. Our learning objectives for today, our participants will identify strategies to incorporate resource management practices that include the ICN competencies, knowledge, and skills for school and nutrition managers. I will now turn the presentation over to Dr. Marjorie Larte, and she will begin by providing an overview of the research process. Marjorie?
Thank you, Teresa. Again, I am Marjorie Larte, a research scientist here at the Institute of Child Nutrition in the Applied Research Division, and good afternoon. The Institute of Child Nutrition strives to provide research and evidence-based resources to child nutrition professionals. Historically, the Institute has been on the front line of identifying competencies, knowledge, and skills needed by professionals working in child nutrition programs. The first competency, knowledge, and skill completed by the Applied Research Division addressed school nutrition directors and supervisors and school nutrition managers. This was in the early 1990s. Since that time, the Applied Research Division has sought to cover all areas within child nutrition programs, including district level school nutrition professionals, state agency child nutrition professionals, and child and adult care food program professionals. This slide depicts our research process for developing the competencies, knowledge, and skills for school nutrition managers resource. We use the constructs of two models listed in the orange box to establish the framework for the research and the development of the competencies, knowledge, and skills resource. It is important as a part of our research process that we involve child nutrition program professionals at every level in the process. For the CKS for school nutrition managers, USDA, state agency professionals, school nutrition directors, and school nutrition managers were a part of the research process. We conducted the study in two phases. In phase one, researchers conducted a literature review on changes within the profession and requested job descriptions and resources related to the role of the school nutrition manager. Next, researchers conducted interviews and case study site visits to gather information about specific knowledge and skills essential for successfully fulfilling the role of a school nutrition manager. The researchers also conducted an electronic expert panel to identify the functional areas for a school nutrition manager. In the second phase of the research, an expert panel of school nutrition professionals convened face-to-face to confirm the knowledge and skill statements identified during phase one and the placement of those knowledge and skill statements under functional areas. After analyzing the data, a second electronic expert panel was held to confirm the outcomes of that first panel. In the final phase of our research process, the competency, knowledge, and skills resource, and I'll refer to that as CKS, was developed for school nutrition professionals, namely school nutrition directors and school nutrition managers. Additionally, researchers created reports to share the findings with our stakeholders. And those stakeholders, of course, include USDA, state agency professionals, and school nutrition professionals. Before we take a closer look at the actual resource, we want you to answer a polling question. Here's the question. What does the concept of competency include? What does the concept of competency include? If you would answer that, click on one of those answers that you feel is correct. Is it an organization's idea of success? Is it knowledge, skills, and abilities of an individual? Is it knowledge, identity, and self-reliance? Or does the concept of competency include high standards designed to eliminate unqualified individuals? Okay, it looks like 83% of you said that the concept of competency includes knowledge, skills, and abilities of an individual, and that is the correct response. So, successful school nutrition programs, according to the literature, utilizes competencies, knowledge, and skills to create performance standards to guide the efforts to support employee performance, to measure job responsibilities and behaviors, and to show how well employees perform in their individual and team related roles and activities at a specified organization. The Institute's Applied Research Division uses competencies, knowledge, and skills process to highlight three main areas: functional areas, competencies, and the knowledge and skills. And while we've talked about competencies incorporates all three knowledge and skills areas, with the way we look at it at the Institute is just a little bit different. We flush it out a little bit differently. So as depicted on the diagram, you can see how we do that. A functional area contains one or more competency statements, which are then supported by knowledge and skill statements needed to perform that competency. So keep that in mind as we continue to talk about this resource and what the resource entails. The Competency, Knowledge, and Skills for School Nutrition Managers resource focuses on identified functional areas, competencies, knowledge, and skills needed for school nutrition managers to effectively operate in a school nutrition program. The previous version of the CKS for managers was published back in 2004, and it did serve as a foundation for this current updated resource. Additionally, when we look at this CKS for school nutrition managers, we want you to know that the resource offers a tool for both school nutrition directors and for school nutrition managers. School nutrition directors can use the resource to help identify performance standards, to guide efforts to support employee performance, to measure job responsibilities and behaviors, and to show how well employees perform in their individual roles and in their role as a team player to meet organizational goals. The school nutrition manager can use this resource to help identify their current knowledge and skill level, where they are currently with what they know and what they're able to do. And it helps them to identify knowledge and skills needed for advancement. School nutrition managers can also use this resource to identify areas where they can gain additional training to meet the demands of that managerial position. You may be wondering, What are functional areas? Functional areas are defined as the broad groupings of responsibilities that are performed by a manager within a local school nutrition operation. These categories serve as the umbrella for the job responsibilities that occur on a daily, weekly, seasonal, or yearly basis. And if you reflect back to the previous slide, you can kind of get an idea of what we mean when we say umbrella. The CKS for managers for this resource are divided into 8 functional areas. The 8 functional areas that complete the job responsibilities for school nutrition managers are personal management, sanitation, safety and security, facility and property management, marketing, communication and customer service, procurement and inventory management, nutrition and meal management, financial management and accountability, and meal preparation and service. The competencies, knowledge, and skill statements are distributed among these 8 functional areas. So the CKS for School Nutrition Managers resource, also it will focus on the identified competencies associated with the functional areas. Competencies are the underlying characteristics within each functional area that lead to successful performance. They may include knowledge and skills, as well as the various levels of motivation. Competencies look more like overall goals within each functional area. And there are a total of 39 competency statements listed in this resource. The resource also provides knowledge needed for school nutrition managers to effectively operate in a school nutrition program. Knowledge is defined as information a person has in a specific content area that is necessary for successful performance in a competency area. There are 165 statements, knowledge statements within each functional area. And finally, this resource focuses on the skills needed for school nutrition managers. Skills are defined as the ability to perform certain physical, mental, and or interpersonal tasks that are necessary for successful performance in a competency area. And in this resource, there are 343 skill statements included within the 8 functional areas. So this is what the finished product looks like. If you picked it up as a book, this would be your cover page. It's a multifaceted tool that can be used by school nutrition directors, school nutrition managers, or even school nutrition staff who are aspiring to become school nutrition managers. Here's a look inside the resource. It is divided into sections. The first section includes the functional areas, competency statements under each functional area, and the knowledge and skill statements associated with each functional area. Each functional area will begin with an introductory page that provides the name of the functional area, a definition for that functional area, and a list of all the competencies within the area. If you look at the image on the screen, this is what the functional area competency page, introductory page would look like. And this one, of course, is for functional area 1, which is personnel management. The functional area introductory page will be followed by a series of pages that provide a detailed list of knowledge and skill statements by competency. The knowledge and skill statements are grouped together based on 2 criteria, and those are either when hired or advanced. These criteria are defined in detail in the CKS resource, but when hired basically indicates a basic level of knowledge and understanding, and advanced is defined as a higher level of knowledge and understanding. This layout is carried throughout the entire first section of the book, and you'll see that introductory page followed by pages that look like this, which is on the screen, for each of the 8 functional areas. Okay, so that is the introduction into how did we come up with this resource? How did we research it? How did we develop it? What it looks like? Are there any questions that I can answer at this time? Going to pause for a moment to wait for questions. We'll wait 30 more seconds for questions. Okay, our first question says, where can I find the guide again? This guide is on the ICN's website, theicn.org. You can print it down. You can view it as a PDF file and keep it on your computer. You can print it down and you can request for a hard copy. And the next question was, how can I get a copy? The same answer applies. It is on our website, theicn.org. You can keep it on your computer as a PDF file. You can print it down, or you can request for a copy of this document. Okay, our next question says, is there an evaluation tool included for managers? Yes, the evaluation tool can be used by either the director or the manager. If it's used by a director, it's typically going to be used for a performance evaluation, but it can be used by managers to look at or establish a path of success, and they can identify what is being offered. So it is a tool that is originally designed for performance eval, but certainly can be used by anyone who views it. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, I'm gonna wait just a few more seconds, because it looks like I see something being typed. We'll wait 30 more seconds. Okay. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, we're going to hand the slides over to Dr. Lewis, who will come now and share with you information regarding the second section of our resource, the application tools.
Good afternoon. Now we will discuss how to use the Competencies, Knowledge, and Skills for School Nutrition Managers resource. Okay. The Competencies, Knowledge, and Skills resource for school nutrition managers is a great research-based tool for school nutrition directors and managers. It offers key competencies that serve as benchmarks for job performance and self assessments. School nutrition managers may use it as a self-assessment tool to evaluate their current role and or modify his or her own professional career path. They may also use it to create their professional goals, work with a mentor, or assess areas in which they would like to learn and gain more knowledge within specified functional areas. They may also use it to seek training or gain and hone their skills for professional development. School nutrition administrators and directors may also use this resource. They may use it to create or modify job descriptions, create and work with their human resource officers to develop interview templates and job description and evaluations, evaluate school nutrition managers' workplace practices, identify critical competencies, knowledge, and skill areas where school nutrition managers need improvements, and they may also use it to identify training needs and establish learning and promotion opportunities for managers. This is the first time that ICN has developed competencies, knowledge, and skills for a school nutrition profession that includes various types of application tools. Within this resource, we also have included a job description template, a performance appraisal template, and individual mentoring plans. The job description template was designed to allow school nutrition professionals to select competencies, knowledge, and skills from the resource that fit the school nutrition manager's roles needed for their program. This tool also has a signature section for administrator signatures to confirm the components of the job description for their school nutrition manager. The mentoring tool is also a fillable template that helps school nutrition directors and managers create career goals and identify competencies, knowledge, and skill statements for managers. This helps to establish mentoring relationships among managers and directors. The final tool, the performance appraisal template, helps school nutrition directors and administrators evaluate school nutrition managers' job performance. This tool may also be used to help develop their job descriptions and their job performance evaluations. This tool may also be used by the school nutrition managers for self-assessments. So, as a review of this presentation, in what ways could you use the competencies, knowledge, and skills for school nutrition managers as the resource and its applications? How else could these be used? If you have any suggestions, please type your suggestions in the text box, in the chat box. Okay. To access the competencies, knowledge, and skills for school nutrition professionals, you can access it from theicn.org under our resource link. I think there's also information related to the resource also on our under our research link of the ICN website. Just as a reminder, today's webinar has been recorded and also can be viewed on the ICN website. And I'll turn it over to Teresa.
Thank you, Christy. ICN resources are research-based and are developed based on the competencies, knowledge, and skills discussed in this webinar. Please visit the link on the slide to review the Competencies, Knowledge, and Skills for School and Nutrition Managers resource in its entirety. Just a friendly reminder that today's webinar has been recorded and can be viewed at the ICN website at theicn.org/STAR. Please complete the evaluation for this webinar. This concludes our January webinar, and remember to check us out next month for another webinar on more exciting things going on in school and nutrition. Thanks again to our speakers, Dr. Marjorie Larte and Dr. Christy Lewis. Have a wonderful day.